What's happening, everybody? It is the May edition of the One-on-One with the Supervillain series with me, your resident supervillain, Mr. J. Washington. All right, let's just get right into this. Make sure my phone's on silent. I was waiting on this person because I was like, okay, cool, we got set. But then I was like, oh, yeah, they probably doing their makeup. So I'll probably be waiting all fucking day because that's how it is with women. They're doing their makeup and taking all damn day looking in the mirror. She's laughing because I see.
Fucking shit. Excuse you, I did my makeup this morning for an earlier video call, so...
Okay, excuse me. I was like, she'll appreciate this one. How the hell are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm exhausted. I didn't get in till almost 3-something last night.
Woo.
It was a wild... I had a midnight show first and foremost, which I'm like, haven't had a midnight show scheduled
We're
like
old
that.
now.
So I had those in a minute. But it wasn't the show. It was, I didn't go up to like almost 12:45, whatever. I was cool. But it was after the show because one of my buddies was on the show. He had this girl he was meeting up. I guess he met her online or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, she's bringing a friend. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm out. I don't care. And I don't know where the transition from sober to extremely fucked up for them went and how did it come about, but it did, and quickly. And I was like, this just don't seem right for no reason. And so it was so bad because like we were at the place and everything in LA, most everything out here closes like 1:45, 2 o'clock. And they were like, they wanted to go somewhere else. And again, I was like, I don't have anything to do until noon, which was this. I was like, all right, whatever. And so we go to another bar, and they both are just beyond, just gone. And I'm like, you know, there's a level of like,
you're having so much fun with wasted people, right?
Right. Like if I'm that wasted too, at some point it's just like everybody's on the same plane, I guess. But that wasn't the case.
When you're not, when you're like the sober-ish or like lightly buzzed person around wasted people, like there's a different level of enjoyment here.
This is not the same vibe I thought it was gonna be. And so at one point we get to this other bar in Hollywood that didn't close till like 3:30, and I was like, all right, I'm not for the, first of all, I know it's Hollywood, it's gonna cost to try to go in. I'm not about to pay. So my buddy pulls up and they both, you know what I'm saying? I was like, my buddy pulls up in his car and I had my buddy's car. And so my other buddy's car. And so I go back. I literally was able to sneak off and walk back to the car, sat in the car like this and slid down. And text my boys like, hey, I'm in the car. Look where I'm at. And just come walk to the door. He walked over to the door and came, got in the car. And we both in the car like this, talking.
We're just going to sneak out of here.
So that literally, so I was like, hey man, I said, I'm telling you something right now. I'm about to go. You can have this yourself. I said, I don't want this. He was like, what you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna drive you by your car door. I say, damn near tuck and roll out, and then I'm just gonna pull off and go. And that's exactly what we did. And so I text him like about 25, 30 minutes later just to, you know, check on him. I was like, what you up to? I was like, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm having a threesome right now. I'll text you later. I was like, enjoy. And then he texted me back. He was like, no, I'm at home.
Oh, no.
That nothing about that situation was appealing to me.
Yeah, I get that.
So how's everything going for you?
It's going pretty good. You know, like, I just remember today's Mother's Day, so, you know, that's a little weird, but, you know.
Yes.
Didn't think too much about it. It's just another day for me now, so.
How are you holding up,
you know,
honestly?
right now I'm fine. So.
Okay.
We'll see. That might change. Who knows?
As the day goes on, understandable.
Yeah, I've been like distracting myself, I guess. But like, I was in a Star Trek game earlier, so that was fun. Nice. I watched your Doctor Strange review because I saw it on Friday.
What'd you think?
I mean, it's a real fun movie.
Yes.
It's a very fun Sam Raimi movie that got to be very Sam Raimi.
Am I just seeing myself being kind of glitchy?
No, I'm seeing it too. So.
Okay, I'm making sure I'm not tripping. I'm trying to figure out what I have open that's causing me to glitch.
I wasn't sure if it was me or you, so I was like, but if you're seeing
it's
you.
Me. It's me, and I'm closing everything just to make sure there's nothing running that could keep me glitchy. And you know what I think it is? I think I don't. So I don't like the. I don't reset my computer as enough as I need to. Like
Mm.
I'll just put it to sleep, and I won't turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna shut stuff down, and I think it's moving it slow. So we're gonna close all these extra windows that I have running that I'm like I don't need to run, and they're just running. But yeah, I'm glad you got different things you're doing. But yeah, the movie, like I said, in my review, I just don't like them constantly redeeming Wanda.
Yeah, no, she's a villain. Like, just let her be the villain. Like, and you say redeem, and my one friend's like, no, she didn't redeem herself. I'm like, all right, I'll do this thing, I guess, but like, she's still pretty villainous. Like, our thing was like, we wanted to see her kill more people. We would like that, please. Let's have a bunch of Doctor Stranges show up and wanted to murder them all.
I would have been very happy for that.
Yeah.
I would have
Like people
not
are talking about
complained at
like
all.
superior Iron Man. Yeah, I would love to see a Tony Stark get killed again and again.
Oh, that would have. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna jump out and jump right back in. Give me 1 second. Don't go nowhere. Don't go anywhere. About to close it on my window and reopen it because this is really stupid. I'm trying to make sure this thing doesn't keep glitching because it's just really really annoying. Close. I don't need that window open. I got all this different stuff open. I'm like, close all this shit. Like it's just really. Yeah, I well until it closes because I seem like I got time, and if I keep pressing buttons, it's gonna freeze this whole thing up.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know. Um, are you back and talking? I don't. I see your video moving. No, it froze. Uh, are you muted?
come on.
Oh, I hear something.
Yeah, I put the mic back. I plugged the mic back in because it unplugged, which is weird. All you gotta do is hit the cord. Come on, don't go nowhere. Let's see. Let's do this. Okay, this is what we'll do. Oh, there go that. Okay, cool. I'm there. I just need this Adobe to close. You can hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I know it's my Adobe thing. This I have this weird thing with, and now everybody always sees it, where if I just tap the cord of my damn mic, it'll say it's unplugged, and I'm like, I don't get how. I haven't
It's a
unplugged
bad
anything.
chord. That's all it
I'm
sounds
really
like.
believing it's just the cord because, like, if I just tap it, it's like it's unplugged. I'm like, I haven't unplugged shit. Like, don't put this pressure on me. Okay, so we're going. I'm trying to wait till I notice. I know it's Adobe. I know it's Adobe Premiere because I always act like it's taking up too much space. Just fucking close. Just fucking close.
Takes
This
forever,
is
right? Well, things are. I don't want to jinx it, but decent now.
yeah, because I'm close. Because most of this stuff it's using all this processing power.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was happy with the way she was murdering people,
Yeah.
which is a
It
weird
was
thing to.
great. Like, my friend put it like pretty well. Like, here's a bunch of people I don't like, and then Maria's there too. So I'm happy seeing her murder all those people. Like
I
Black Bolt, nobody. Fuck off, Black Bolt. Jim from
hey, listen.
Office, no thank you. Go away.
Here's my thing. They gave people the. So I really believe because again they said those two were kind of added like in reshoots and some shit like that. So like the initial this way you kept the secret, which is smart if you're Marvel. You already know that. Look, we're not gonna shoot that in principle because if we shoot that in principle, everybody gonna know, because when everything's being done. But I was like, okay, they're doing the Illuminati, fine. But then I was like, are they gonna really give us the Illuminati because T'Challa's on the Illuminati? And I was like,
Well, he's all right. He's not though.
It depends on
Like
which
so, like
iteration.
yeah, like the first introduction of the Illuminati, he's like Iron Man. Tony's like, hey, all these people, and T'Challa's like, you can keep meeting here. I don't want any part of this. This is a terrible idea.
This is true. He's kind of like like a better words when Batman makes his shit against the Justice League. Like
Yeah,
this ain't a
except
good
like
idea.
he was making like the moral argument of like we should not be in control of all this stuff. We shouldn't be making these secret decisions. You know how secrets just come back to haunt us.
Like this isn't the best idea for people. So I don't think
Yeah,
this is. But I
and
think I
then it
thought they
was
would.
just left with a bunch of white dudes. So
So in other words, Charlie was like, "You're not gonna have me as the diversity hire around here. I know what this is. I've seen this before."
yeah,
So it was just, I again, the Illuminati was cool. I hope now you saw me. I think I said it in my review. I hope that Marvel's trolling people and they gave everybody John Krasinski just to say, "Here, shut up." But guess what? It's gonna be somebody else.
God, I hope it's someone else because I don't want Jim from Office as Reed Richards.
That's
Just
you'll
because
never say anything
people,
else with Jim.
no, Office Jim, like I don't care if he looks kind of like bearded Reed. I don't want him to be Reed Richards.
Yeah, this was
I
like
like A
when
Quiet Place. That's about it.
you were so petty. You are so petty. Because in A Quiet Place, he said maybe only to Quiet Place 2 did he actually say real words.
I didn't even see the second one, so
You didn't?
no. I thought he died
So
in the first one.
he died. So they showed, so in the beginning of 2, they showed the moment when the aliens actually showed up.
Okay.
They show when they actually show up, and how it just affects everybody's life. But I always feel like even with A Quiet Place 1 and 2, the daughter deserved to die. Like you are too much of a brat for there to be you. I get you. I get your hearing impaired. I understand that part. But yo, there's big shit going on right now. Okay, you make a sound. We already lost a brother, which again don't know why people want to bring more kids to a world like this. Never understood that.
Uh, who knows? But yeah, like Jim from Office, get out of here with. I don't want him as Reed. Like, give me like a younger cast. Not like too young, but like Jim from Office feels like he's I don't know 40 or 50 something. I'm sure he's 40s.
Here's the problem though. Who do you? Because granted, there's gonna be somebody out there that when they cast him, if it's not Krasinski, people will be like, I never thought about that.
Yeah.
But it's
Look,
like who?
I'm not a casting agent. I don't have to worry about that because there's too many actors in the world.
This is so funny.
And the other thing about Mr. Fantastic, he's stretchy. Like he doesn't have to age.
That is technically true because he can keep stretching and his muscles, his cells are elastic.
Yeah,
He
like
can look
Plastic
young.
Man doesn't age. But
Just keep him out of
like
cold weather.
yeah, but if like Emily Blunt is in a Marvel movie, I'd be into that because I like Emily Blunt.
So you want one half of the.
Yeah, look, they don't work on everything together. He wasn't in Mary Poppins.
Did you really? Did you? I'm Mary Poppins. You want Mary Poppins, huh?
But that is the movie I thought of. He wasn't in Jungle Cruise.
So then Dwayne Johnson is your Reed Richards.
Look, why do you just associate?
I don't know. I just literally took Emily Blunt co-stars and just start putting them together as Reed Richards. I don't know. I think if any one of the two of them, the official announcement, one of the two are gonna be black, no matter what.
Okay.
No,
I mean,
because you have to, because it'll explain Kang when it comes, down the
All
line.
right, yeah. I guess
It'll-
if they want to
it'll
go with
explain
that.
Kang.
Look, Jay, for all the things that MCU ignores from the comics, you think they're gonna pick that up?
Yup. You're not finna do this one. I know, because again, you want the craziness. This is comic book. I don't give a shit.
Like, I would love for them to embrace more of the comic book stuff, but we just saw all of Moon Knight where they don't give a shit about the comics. So,
Well, because I think, I like Moon Knight personally. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
hmm
I feel like they did what they did best because again, the whole trick was everybody thought for the longest it was Mark killing people. When you low key found out it's been Jake Lockley murdering everybody since the first episode.
Yeah, like which we knew in the first episode in Egypt, where he was like, "That wasn't me." Like right away, like that's like, yeah, no, but there's a third. You've talked about it in Mad Titan, so.
Yeah. But I think people, a lot of people didn't, who didn't, again, people weren't familiar with the comics, so they were just like, they had no idea, and
Yeah.
but that was one of the things you and I think we talked about with Moon Knight, how I like the fact they're embracing characters the average person doesn't know. Okay, so
Oh yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy. Most people don't know who that is. Any of those
everybody
people.
just won't fucking Nova.
Yeah, unless you watch like the animated series, you don't know who most of these characters are. Which like
No,
that's cool, but as like there's been a lot of discussion in one of my discords about the Moon Knight show and like the people that I'm like I would just like it to be look a little like the character, resemble the character in any way, shape or form. Like
what do you
yes,
mean?
there's three personalities, but Moon Knight is does not have magical powers. He's just a guy. He's a
No, I agree.
he is Batman. That is like that's his thing. He's Batman with DID. He is Stephen Grant is a millionaire slash billionaire. That's how he affords all his toys.
hmm
Like the Jake Lockley is just like the guy that's the informant. He's driving cabs. Like he is an urban vigilante. And the problem is Kevin Feige talking about this show and compared it to Netflix's Daredevil. The show we got was nothing like Netflix's Daredevil.
Yeah.
This was a big world-shaking event. Like, look, they turned back the sky 1,000 years, which in a world of the MCU where they clearly have iPads, you could just download the app to look up what the sky looked like that 1,000 years ago. So like Khonshu got encased in stone for nothing.
Cause you got a case of the stone where somebody could just ran up, hey, there's an app for that.
Yeah, seriously. Like astronomers use this stuff. They already know. Look, if you know what the sky looks like now, you can figure out what it's a science.
You take the fun.
Look,
I like how
that
you whistle. You know, they didn't really have to just spin the wheel on the sky. Just it
look, if
looked
you want to do
good,
the magic
okay?
thing with him flying, that's fine. But him turning the sky back, Stephen Grant should know this.
That's hilarious.
They're literally using a data pad too.
This is kind of true. Like Layla did pick up the whole iPad. Was like, that's the star, right there. Like,
It's like so dumb. And like and it's like so the DID exploration I didn't like it. I'm like, it's like, all right, we can talk to each other through the mirrors. I'm like, all right. So I don't read Moon Knight. I've read like a Moon Knight issue from the
uh-huh.
90s where he was fight. Look, all his adamantium weapons, because that's what his weapons are made out of, because
Yes,
he's
they are.
fucking rich,
Because he's
started
fucking
melting
rich.
because he was fighting a dude covered in Savage Land vibranium, aka the anti-metal, which melts other metals. So like, it was like a crazy ass shit. Like
So
that's
I
my
think that's the
basis of Moon
problem, though.
Knight.
I think honestly. So I don't know when the discussion was had to have Moon Knight, and I say that
It's
because we know
confusing.
what his suit is made out of. Being it's all made out of adamantium.
Oh yeah.
So adamantium being the X-Men thing, because
Well,
like
look,
anything. Go
yeah,
ahead.
it would have been like, look, they're not here yet, but here's a little hint for those people that know. Like, it could have been a fun little hint, but no, he summons it magically, and like that raises other questions. Does
With
he have super strength when he's not in the suit? But
no,
he,
and you
but
notice that.
yeah, that doesn't make sense though, right? Because he needs the power to summon the suit, which gives him the powers, but he needs to have the power to summon the suit in the first place. So why doesn't he just
Don't
have
do
like the
this.
good
You're making
fighting
it too.
skills?
You're making too much confusing sense. Don't do this.
And what's like I brought this up in the emails. What's more frustrating is the Mary Walker comparison. Like, and I've rewatched a lot of Mary Walker from Iron Fist season 2, and
Mhm.
look, I liked Iron Fist season 2 when it aired. Season 1, look, it's not good. It'll never be good. Danny Rand, still not good. Alice Eve is fucking incredible in that show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
her Typhoid Mary is
like
amazing.
the way they did DID in that is like, oh yeah, no, I get this is showing how miserable your life is because like there's constant post-it notes to the other self, and she talks about like, well, I know what the triggers are to bring her out, and like
Right.
this, there's no triggers. He just goes to sleep or something, and like, and in that, like, she's choking Joy Meacham out in one scene. It's like, do you have any idea what it's like to wake up and not know where you are? To find out you've lived, like, some insipid idiot has taken over your life? It is a living nightmare.
See, and that's the thing too. I think when you have these characters, I think it's a different way because you get a Typhoid Mary, you get a Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, you get a Crazy Jane, you get even a created character like what they did with the Beast with Glass and Split. You know, the character like that. It's always a complicated matter of just handling. First of all, handling that situation, you know, in itself. But for me, just to, again on the outside looking in, it had to be magical because of the phase we're in. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, it's so weird though
I
because
know
like,
what you're saying. I
yeah,
get
like,
completely. I think it had to be magical because of the phase we in.
and then the other thing I hear is like, yeah, no, Moon Knight's Batman, but deals with weird shit a lot. So he's always fighting, helping vampires across the city because they can only travel at night, or he's fighting werewolves like his first appearance. And they didn't deal with any of that. Like, the showrunner wanted to deal with a lot of Egyptian stuff. Moon Knight doesn't really do that, from what I know. He's just it powered. You know, he's the
He's the voice of an
avatar of an
Egyptian
Egyptian
god.
god, but like, he doesn't go to Egypt.
Well, I think the thing with that too is because, and I read a couple of interviews about that. He didn't like the way Egypt has always been portrayed.
Yeah, I saw that, and the fear was, oh, are you just gonna? Thankfully, they did delve upon his Judaism because that was the big fear a lot of people had that they would
Yes,
just
they
ignore it,
did. Yes, they
and like they
did.
did it in a great way, except according to one Jewish comedy reviewer. I'm like, I don't know, this seems pretty good. Like the his mother dying and sitting Shiva makes him break. I'm like, that's really impactful. So, in my opinion, but
Yeah, my thing was like, of course you no matter because it's that thought process. We've seen this in see the crazy part is how much emphasis people put in a situation like that when it comes to a character like that. Because in any other movie or TV show outside of the comic book realm, where you have someone who's been tormented by their parents and they leave, they finally break away, but at the end of the day, that parent dies,
yeah,
it still hits them.
yeah,
And
totally.
so that's what it is with him. And that's, and, you know, am I making sense with that?
No,
Because
we're on the same page.
okay, yeah, I want to make sure, like, because it's like when you see people go like, well, this is blah blah blah. Yes, his mother, regardless if his mother kept beating, he already feels bad about his brother dying.
Yeah. And like another frustrating part about it is Conchu's like, I never wanted Mark, I never wanted Steven, I want Jake. But like Mark and Steven think they're free from Conchu?
Because they don't know about Jake.
Yeah, but the problem is like they know there's a third one that they don't know about because like I didn't do that, neither did I. And they never question that further.
But that's why I think
But Jake is gonna like they're gonna wake up places, right?
What but I think that's the reason. So I think this is another thing too. This is where I give Marvel hella credit for. Marvel knew from jump this was more than one season. They knew it out the gate, right? So everything they kept doing said it's a limited series. This is what it is. Series finale. Oscar Isaac's interviews. Hey man, look, this has been a fun thing. We knew what this was gonna be. Then the day before, they changed it from series.
See, like I never knew. I just thought I was always set up for a second season.
Nope. They
Yeah,
said they because it was kind
because
of it's
like,
played
well,
the same
maybe
way.
probably
Hmm?
because the show was so slow moving, but
No, I think it was always set for because again, you don't have Oscar Isaac, that caliber of an actor. You don't anybody you have with these high calibers. The odds of you bringing them in to play these
look at the
big
Mandalorian though.
I mean, what do you mean?
Pedro Pascal is also a similar high caliber actor that they brought in for what going to be 3 seasons plus the only good episodes of Boba Fett.
Oh, you're talking about the fact that you only see his face what twice?
Yeah, but he's still there. He's still doing the like he's like the Brendan Fraser of Doom Patrol. He's still doing all the voice work.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But it's like, but with Oscar Isaac, you don't have him just to not just. I'm saying to be one off in a sense.
Fair.
Like with Doctor Strange, I still want to ask this question: how much of a truck did you back up to get Charlize Theron
to play Clea?
Because this woman said she was not coming in this world.
I didn't know. I never knew that. I was wondering, like, are they gonna bring her in? Who could she be? All like the good characters are taken. It feels like
because they kept asking, because of course when you start hitting. When we're in the midst of phase 3, you're like, well, shit, who is there left? And so Charlize Theron is one of these big name actors, and she was like, I don't need it.
I mean, she got that Fast and Furious money too.
Fast and Furious. You got the Mad Max. You got the Mad Max series you were in. You got the Old Guard now on Netflix. You got Atomic Blonde, which you want to do a sequel. So it's like she don't need it. But then you're
yes, please give me that sequel.
See?
Yeah.
You get the Atomic Blonde, you want the sequel, but then you're like, wait, she's Clea, which means this whole Doctor Strange in the Dark Dimension movie is going to get wild. And plus, if you can't just be bringing Clea in for one movie in and out.
Yeah, so I feel like if Clea was an actor that wasn't Charlize Theron, they could bring her in just for one movie. But like with Charlize Theron, I'm like, they probably want to use her for more than one movie. But Clea is still a weird choice.
I absolutely agree. If it's somebody who's a B or C tier actor or actress, shit, myself included, but that's probably on the G list. Like, yeah, we here for go ahead and have these 3 lines. We'll see you later. Yeah.
Otherwise, like character choice, I could only think of is like the next one that. Emma Frost eventually maybe, but I have other bigger dream castings for that. But
I personally couldn't see Charlize as Emma Frost. I think Emma Frost is, for lack of better words, beneath her.
How dare you insult the best X-Men?
You heard what I said, and damn it, I meant it. I think it. I don't think it like really. Because again, she's I'm not taking away from what Emma Frost is.
So the difference
level they're going to use her is like it wouldn't match Charlize.
The problem is like X-Men in general is a problem in movies because X-Men should be a soap opera, like airing every single fucking day probably, but or at least once a week, because X-Men only works as a soap opera. Like that, it doesn't work as just like a 2-hour action movie because there's too much shit that people want. That's the issue. And Emma Frost's whole thing is what makes her so great is I was a horrible, terrible villain, and then you get to watch me redeem myself over a long period of time.
Right.
And that's the problem because that doesn't work in like 2-hour movies every few years.
Yeah.
It works in a soap opera where you can, like wrestling, you can like, all right, I'm the bad guy. I think I'll start being a good guy. Or, sometimes it'll be a slow turn, but other times.
Speaking of which, did you see about Roman?
Something about Hollywood, right?
So he announced he cut a promo at the end of the live. I guess they're taping Saturday night's main event or just called it that. But at the end, he was like, I've been here about 10 times. He's like, I don't know how many more times I'll be here. Thank you. This is the last time, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. And like I tweeted, I said, I've been telling everybody since he's became the tribal chief and that character, the way he's flipped it, I said, he just showed he had range as an actor. That was all he needed. Like, everybody was like, Roman can go because of the look. I was like, we've done that wrestlers because of looks thing. That's how you get Randy Orton in one Marine movie. That's how you get the Miz in only Marine movies. You know what I'm saying? But
hey, he was in Santa's Little Helper or something, right?
He was. But when you get a range, when you realize this actor can do a range, this person can do a range of things now. Because remember, for the years, Roman was just, I'm the good guy. And then if he was just a bad guy, he was just a face. It was just a face he'd make.
We'll see what happens if he ends up being a Batista or John Cena, people are like, oh, good for him. Because John Cena's great. He's proven himself time and time again.
Because he found
Batista
his lane.
started off much slower. He had a slower build, and he's entertaining as heck.
Who?
Batista.
Yeah, you know what? They found roles that fit him.
Yeah, like Rock had the quick start and then the crash, and then it's like here's lots of weird kid movies, and then like all right, you are not maybe not be the best actor, but you know how to bank off your personality and charisma.
And so we're gonna start using that, because again, that man came out the gate. You're the Scorpion King. Everybody's like, wait, we putting him in the movie with Brendan Fraser, who's one of the top actors at the time in the world. Mm-hmm. Okay, and all right, guess what? We're gonna give him his own movie. And everybody was like, you sure about that? You really want to? Wait, no.
Look, that movie was so confusing to me at the time because I'm like, wasn't he like super evil villain in The Mummy Returns? Didn't they talk about how he was like a tyrant?
He was a
and then
murderer and everything, and then you're like, wait, this dude is in love.
That's a multiverse, it's a different Scorpion King.
Dude, you're like, this dude is in love. Like, speaking of tyrants and all that, again, Wanda Maximoff is the MCU's Karen. She's the biggest Karen in the MCU.
Look, she's the best MCU villain to date.
I kind of agree. I have to agree.
Yeah, like, she's just like, look, WandaVision sets it off on the villainy path, and then this, I love instantly. She's like, you never said her name, did you? And then just like, everything is around her's dead. And like, yeah, no.
Because she started while she was like, shit. Kind of gave myself. It was the most villain shit of. And I gave myself away. I know it. I was like, oh. But the fact when she walked into Carmentage, it was like, yo, I'm telling you, this is me being reasonable. I'm telling you, look, just give it here.
Yeah. Look, the monsters were being nice.
Right. Me sending the monsters were being nice. You like, damn.
And then like she's like, oh, this is your defenses? Okay, that's cute. It's cute.
All right.
God, she's so good. Like Loki was like fine, for a little bit. Thanos, I think he's a big old dummy that doesn't make sense. Wanda, she tore shit up. Like nobody stopped her. She stopped herself.
If you're the Sorcerer Supreme, first and foremost, you reevaluate every motherfucker you recruited to Carmentage. She ran through about 3,000 people.
Jay, that's not what it's about. It's about teaching people that have the ability. It doesn't matter who skill or not.
You are training for the moment, and that was the moment. Look, y'all, I am literally rewatching Endgame, right? I literally just remember when everybody comes to the portals, everybody can handle their own in this giant battle of Thanos, right? This whole battle for Earth and the universe. One woman.
Yeah. Well, look. An angry, pissed off lady's stronger.
This is very true. Hell have no fury like a woman scorned. I know this line very well.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah. It was so good. Olsen was so good. And like the problem is like she's got to come back, right? Because her children still don't exist. And if they're doing all this Young Avengers setup.
But that was the thing, because that was the one thing I noticed too. Like, you made sure, yes, she has to see the boys, so the boys are relevant. But
that's why the Vision's not mentioned at all.
They're like, nope, we can't, because
they could just say like call out for him, not show him, but nope, not even.
But I think that makes sense though for her not to even have to, because somebody brought that up to me, was like, well, what about Vision? I was like, no, she's accepted the fact she recreated Vision.
I meant like the other 8, 1, and 7 or whatever, the other universe's Wanda.
Oh yeah.
Like she never calls out for her husband or whatever. Presumably, like if her kids are alive, her husband's probably alive.
Hey, maybe things played themselves again, and the Wandas balanced themselves out. But the fact that she was like, yeah, he dead, whatever. I want my babies. And Strange is like, yo, the fact you got Doctor Strange like, hey, listen to me, lady. They were not real. Okay.
Like, and it's also so funny how like evil and delusional, like, well, then what do you need America for? Like, what if they get sick? What if they get hurt? I have to go find new children then.
You're like,
like, oh damn, girl,
You're like, oh, this girl crazy.
Slay queen, slay.
I literally look the way let me tell you something. You got Mordo trying to talk to the Illuminati was like, this is when we need to keep Strange here. While you hear in the whole background, people are being murdered.
Yeah, like that dude's real dumb. If
you hear people dying.
No, we're gonna wait for the rest to come back. Like, are you sure? They're dead.
Hey, hella dead. They go.
Xavier's even like, hey, I trust this Steven for some reason. Like the Vishanti thing is so fun. I'm like, oh, this was useless. This did nothing.
I was like, what? But I get we have to have all these magical relics that we've mentioned even in Doctor Strange 1 and all this other stuff. But also you need to have the counterbalance to the Darkhold.
Hey, what? Did we though?
Yeah.
It's a thing that exists, and then when touched, it disintegrated.
The Darkhold?
No, the Book of Vishanti.
Yeah, it did. You're right.
Like the Darkhold got way more use than that thing did.
Man, could you imagine being remember when we saw it in WandaVision? Everybody's like, yo, what about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Man,
and it was like,
who cares?
No, but everybody was people like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Everybody was like, no. You know how remember how TV stations that had that which was out the way?
Yeah, it's like there's a sheep that's like, get out of the way, sheep.
This really out the way. We're talking about this book. This is what we're talking about, this book here.
And like it's funny because like they destroyed the Eye of Agamotto in Endgame.
Technically they didn't, because if you notice he still has it.
So he's got an amulet, but like the green gem was the eye basically.
The time stone, yeah.
Yeah. They destroyed the Book of Vishanti. They destroyed the Darkhold. I'm like, does he gonna have any of his relics? Like, that's his thing, right? Is he gonna get like the Wand of Atum or something?
He ain't got the boots no more. The boots are the vaulted boots.
Yeah, like I remember at the end of the first one, like the post-credit scene with like Thor. He's got the yellow gloves on. They never came back. I can understand why, but like probably they're not comfortable to film with on. But like, it fucking look cool. Because it's comic booky.
But that's why I'm it's always, I think it's those things too when at one point they're like, all right, what detail do we have to have comic book wise to me? That's why they gave him the thing on the back of the cloak. It was like, okay, cool. But then, like you said, the gloves, like probably the thing was probably heavy and hot. And Benedict Cumberbatch was like, but Stephen Strange's hands, these things we see, his hands.
Fucking dumb.
You know that's what an actor says.
No, it's just like the impersonation was just so fucking funny. It's like, oh yeah, this British dude doing this terrible American accent.
It's like his hands and his fingers. You look at. Why is it always his fucking X-ray shows all his fingers turned every which way, but his regular fingers just look straight as shit? You're like,
magic. Like that's the thing. You use magic to fix your hands. You could go back to being a surgeon too. You know that, right? Like.
Benjamin Bratt's character in Doctor Strange 1 went back to hooping. Okay,
yes, like seriously,
he went back to playing basketball. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And it was funny, like watching the movie, because like, oh, I guess What If is sort of required to understand most of this shit, even though none of the characters from What If are actually in this. Because like,
just Peggy Carter.
No, I don't even think it's her. Right? I don't think it's that Peggy Carter. It's just a Peggy Carter.
It's just to let you know how she becomes, why she's Captain Carter.
Yeah, a Captain Carter. Because, like, it's definitely not Strange Supreme, because he became Strange Supreme because Christine died in the car crash. Like, so, like, and he's talking about attending her wedding. I'm like, well, we know that didn't happen. So, in What If?
Also, I like to say again, like I said in my review, she married a black dude. That was so unexpected. That was the most unexpected shit ever. I was like, oh, so this is how Strange becomes evil. Because he knows he'll never fill his own shoes.
Like, and it's also funny, like, the other doctor in the wedding, I'm like, dude, this is what you dressed up at? Like, this is what you look like going to a wedding? Put some effort in. What the fuck?
I didn't know it was a wedding at first. I was like, is it a funeral? Is it a funeral? Because the way he came dressed in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have been drinking the night before.
Yes, he looked like shit. And then he's like, "Wait, you didn't get her either." I'm like, "All right, buddy. Yeah, I realized that. I'm at the wedding."
I was like, okay, all right, this
Was there
is.
any other way? And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Well, that's because Tony Stark sucks." So, fucking hate Tony Stark. He's the worst in these movies.
Why do you hate Tony Stark?
Look, he's the sole cause for every problem in
This
that
is true.
universe.
He very much is. I agree.
Like everybody blames Star Lord for the Thanos not being defeated. If Tony Stark didn't go off into space, they wouldn't have had that problem. Doctor
Yeah,
Strange wouldn't have had to give them. Tony Stark says, "Hey, Strange, let's go to him." And Strange's like, "No, I should go back and protect this rock." And he's like, "No, no, no, you should go with him. We'll fight him head on." And if Doctor Strange didn't listen to Tony, they wouldn't have given Thanos the Time Stone early.
also, if Tony doesn't take the nuke into space to kill the Chitauri, because
If
remember,
Tony trusted his quote unquote friends,
yeah, because remember in Infinity War when Tony and Thanos first fight, he tells Tony, "You ain't the only one burdened with knowledge. The fuck you think this is? Like I know about you too, bro.
yeah.
Like,
Like if he had just called Cap, if he didn't do Civil War,
there's a lot of things that could
if
have
he didn't
stopped.
create Ultron,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
most like he's the reason for most of the villains and most at least the reasons Peter Parker has so many shitty villains. Most of
Yes,
his movies are all Tony Stark villains.
the Vulture is a Tony Stark dude, worked for damage control.
Mysterio,
Mysterio worked for him. Yeah,
yeah, it's like the third one is the only one where it's not really Tony related, but Stark Industries is still involved, of course, because there's an investigation because the Mysterio. God, that movie, I love that movie. It's so baffling and confusing because
and it's still a
the
part of it. And
spell.
you still have like people have those little bitty Stark references from each movie now.
Yeah,
You
he's
know, they
like
have a look.
he's the martyr of that world. I'm like, ugh, anybody else, please.
Hey, look, think about it. You needed a character that people were going to attach to, and
Yeah,
unfortunately, it was a C-list character because that's
because
who I.
it's the first movie. Robert Downey Jr. is very charming, great actor, but
Mhm.
Captain America's way better, and he was right in every single one of their arguments.
But was he? Because they're
Yeah,
both right in. They're
no,
both right in Avengers with the argument they have.
which argument?
Take away the suit. What are you? Billionaire, philanthropist, playboy. You're not the type of guy to lay his life down on the wire. Everything special about you came out of a bottle. That argument is literally concluded
It is
in
not right
Endgame.
though, because everything special about Steve didn't come to the bottle.
No, no,
It's his
that's what I'm
heart.
saying. No, no, but that's what I'm saying. Because again, Steve tells that the argument is concluded because they proved each other wrong. Everything about him didn't come out of a bottle because he lifted the hammer, right? So that proved
Well,
number one.
I mean, it's the heart that proves Steve Rogers. He'd still be
Right.
doing it without the serum.
He probably, yeah, but also
He'd be dead of old age, but
hella dead. But also Tony laid his life on the line.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think he only did that just because he got bullied by the person that was right. So,
That is, you are so wrong for this.
also, he murdered a lot of people in doing it, so he's still not that good a person.
What, when he snapped?
No, Tony Stark. Well, yes, when he snapped all those people, but he. I don't like seeing my superheroes kill people with nuclear weapons, even if those people are aliens, because they're still sentient beings.
Oh my God. No, you.
Yeah, look, just because they're aliens doesn't mean you're not murdering people.
Did we really have the alien rights activists out here come out?
What is wrong with this belief that heroes shouldn't kill?
They are aliens planning to murder you.
Yeah,
What else do you do?
you just block off their invasion attempt. You just shut down all the portals. You beat up Loki. He's a god. He can't die like that, maybe.
I've never had the rationale discussions ever.
Look, I'm saying in the comics they don't murder all those people. Thanos isn't dead.
Thanos does all this in the comics for a woman who friend zones him.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's perfect. But also,
Thanos,
the heroes don't murder Thanos.
which is very scary. You know, I get it. I love Thanos, but I'm like, he'd had to go 8 issues ago.
Look, here's the thing. They have a moral high ground. It's like why Batman doesn't kill. I can't. If I kill, I'm like them. We're not like them. We're better than them.
So, listen, you be better.
Because comics are for children, Jay.
Okay,
It's supposed to teach a lesson.
What's the lesson?
It's not eye for an eye, Jay. You got to turn the other cheek.
This ain't the Bible. This ain't the Bible.
But on the same part, yes, Wanda should kill more people. That'd be great. But she's a villain. She's a villain, though.
Wanda to kill more people.
Yeah, well, she's a villain, so it's okay.
Again,
look, this series really needs a Madame Mask for Kate Bishop to go up against, and it really needs Viper, aka Ophelia Sarkeesian. Like, they need a fully evil female supervillain that's like, no, there's no redemption here. This is what I want to do. Like, I'll bring back Hydra without the Nazi stuff. I just want to rule the world because nobody else is good at it. And
I wonder if they could pull off those characters though.
Well, like, I don't think they'll ever bring Hydra back because they've created too much of a burden of the Nazi comparison. Because, like, you know, comic wise, Nazis created Hydra back in the 40s. Hydra disappears for a while, comes back in like the 60s. There's like a 20-year gap where, you know, Nazis weren't a real and prevalent thing in the world as much.
They weren't. It weren't this whole group of neo-Nazis.
Yeah, so Hydra basically became Cobra from G.I. Joe because that's what Cobra was supposed to be. G.I. Joe was supposed to be S.H.I.E.L.D., Cobra was supposed to be Hydra. And they were just a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world that were snake-themed. And, like, Viper was in charge. And then Red Skull comes back, takes over, Nazi stuff again. Red Skull loses control. The other people take over, less Nazi focus. Then the whole Mark Spencer book where Captain America is secretly a Nazi the entire time comes and ruins everything because the movies started making them Nazis again. So it's like you can't escape it now. It's like too modern now.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I want Viper. I love Viper. A green-haired woman wearing like a green, like sleeveless, like leather out, like just like you. She is fully committed to a theme, and I love it. Like, I know she was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but I'm like, that's not Viper. That's a fake Viper.
Damn.
She was in LMD to gain sentience or whatever. That's not Viper. She's
she
not Hungarian.
Was the LMD in the damn show.
Yeah, I think she was like in a virtual reality program that came real or something. That's what I heard. I didn't watch that season.
I kind of because I remember. So I stopped.
She also didn't have green hair, so that's very important.
I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after a while. I stopped watching it for a minute. But listen, I got to get ready to get up out of here, and you got to go do more things because you got your makeup done. You did 2 things out of it. You don't get all the use out of that makeup.
I'll probably take it off because, man, mascara makes my eyes so heavy and like just makes me want to nap.
I look beautiful, but I'm gonna be sleepy.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Tell people how they can find you.
You can follow me at JoLene -. On Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. You can follow my podcast at Divas of Design on Twitter and Instagram. You could email the podcast we rank and discuss various designs across pop culture. So you could email designs, just please include image links or images attached so we can share them for the YouTubes. That's at divasofdesignpod@gmail.com. It's a fun time.
And I forgot to put it in the description last time. I'm going to definitely put it in this one because everything's been crazy. And this month, I'm going to make sure I put it in there. So I definitely am happy that you got that going right now. Y'all already know where to find me. So holla at y'all next time. Take care. I'm out. Don't go nowhere. Bye.